gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Disqualified. I am Trevin, joined as always by Caleb.
Hola!
And Zach, as always, is behind the camera.
And we are here to talk about Smackdown. Now, the Friday night lights were bright, for sure, in Chicago, Illinois.
Yup.
This was the first WWE show back on U.S. soil in 3 weeks, other than NXT, of course. But, yeah, this was an amazing show.
Yeah.
One of the Smackdowns that were, actually very, very good. There were maybe 2 matches that I felt were kind of lackluster.
Yeah, I'm looking at our card notes, and I'm like, daggum, SmackDown, of course, is supposed to be, the more wrestling show, and Raw's supposed to be the more story-focused show. But looking at this card, I'm like, mate, the action didn't stop.
No, the action didn't stop. And when we did get some promo segments, they were amazing.
Yes.
Especially one that is, you know what? Finally, the 2 world title, the 2 Rumble winners feuds are
actually cooking.
Are cooking.
It took us 2 months, but they cooking.
We're here now. Better late than never.
Yep.
Because we are 2 weeks out now from Mania.
Yup. And speaking of Mania, we open with your hometown hero and newly announced WrestleMania main eventer.
For night 1, CM Punk, Charles Montgomery Punk, or as he actually had to announce it in a court case, Chick Magnet Punk.
Yeah. It's funny because he mentions in a couple interviews he's done on YouTube and other places, he mentions that the CM is the initials, sometimes depending on which company it was wrestling for, stands for something different, so he could keep the CM but not have to replace the trademark.
Okay, so I guess for WWE it was CM, maybe. Or maybe that was Ring of Honor when he was first there.
Yeah.
But
it's I've had it trademarked as Chicago Man, Chick Magnet. There have been a bunch of CMs in my career. As long as I can keep the CM Punk, I'm good.
I wonder what he did for the UFC to have it.
I don't know.
I wonder what it was for the UFC. This is so off topic. Okay,
yeah.
But CM Punk comes out and he announces the favor. But he says, you know what? I'm going to wait because here comes Paul Heyman.
Yep.
And Paul Heyman says, hey, look, whatever you want.
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes. We'll do it. Come on. Well, that comes in the later segment. But he says, whatever you want, we'll talk. We'll hash it out. But he's like, just tell me what the favor is now because Roman's here and this night is stressful. He is already mad. So if I could avoid angering him even more.
Yep.
And Punk's like, he's not here?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I would very much like to piss off my tribal chief.
Yep. He's like, I want you and him in the middle of this ring when I announce the favor.
Yep. So he said, tell him whenever he gets here that we're ready to go.
Yep.
And he leaves.
Yep.
And Paul just
looks a little stressed now.
And leaves. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we get the debut of Fenix.
Yep. Coming back from commercial break, because they announced that the opening match will be his debut. We come back from commercial break to see his opponent still making his entrance as none other than half of the NXT Tag Champs, Nathan Frazier.
And oh boy, did this match cook. Let's just get the elephant out the room. There was one part where Nathan, his foot got caught on the rope, was very scared for him, but he recovered wonderfully. Nothing.
This match was all gas, no brakes.
Oh my God. So Rey Fenix gets the win with the MMB, the Mexican Muscle Buster, which I will kind of try to describe it. So, it starts like a regular muscle buster where you get the person in the corner, you get them up for a suplex, but then you hold their legs down. So you have full control of them. You march to the middle of the ring, and usually you just go down like that. But he does a little spin and turns it into like a Samoan driver, and then he connects, and it was great. They also gave him a bunch of pyro.
Yup.
They made his logo look exactly like Penta's. They like match it up beautifully.
Yep.
They already have his mask up, a t-shirt up. They are pushing these two really heavy.
Yes.
They're giving them the star presentation, which is great. Just wait to see what they're going to be doing with them long term.
Mm-hmm.
I would both love to see them get a singles title reign, but I would also like to see them as the Lucha Bros. I want to see them against teams like DIY. I want to see them against teams like MCMG, Street Profits, New Day. I just want to see them in the tag division. They add a flavor that is much needed in the tag division.
Yes. And I mentioned it before we're recording and on NXT, expect Axiom to bring up like, hey Nathan, you didn't say anything about this.
You actually can keep a secret.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. Good showing from Nathan. It was like a competitive match. It wasn't a squash, which was refreshing.
Yeah.
I think that they're using this as a little stepping stone to see if both Fraxia members get a reaction, main roster wise.
And they did.
They did. So I think now we see maybe in their next tag feud, next one or two, they drop them. Or they get called up as champions. That would be cool. But then you have to do the drop angle on NXT.
Yeah.
Or you can do it on the main roster and give that little team a rub. Like they did for Braun Breaker when he won it back from Dolph Ziggler.
Mm-hmm.
I believe. Yeah. But now we move on to LA Knight. Well, first we move on to Braun Strowman in the backstage promo segment.
Yeah. Also before that, after the pinfall of Ray Fenix and Nathan Frazier, we cut to the locker room where Hunter cannot be these allegations. Legado del Fantasma is watching the match, and Santos is like, this is the type of fire I need from you two. I mean, they both have similar styles to you, and it's like, look at what they're able to do in there. I need that from you two. And eventually they have a conversation about like Los Garza's been working their butts off recently, and Berto's like, we put our heart and soul into every match, and he's like, and you're gonna have the chance to prove it. I'm gonna go talk to Aldis next week. I want you against Fenix.
Hey, I think this is gonna be a good match. Out of the two of the tag members of Los Garza's, Angel and Berto, I prefer Humberto. He is very, his style is really good in the ring. Garza, don't get me wrong, he's great, but the main part of his gimmick is that he rips his pants off and reveals the trunks underneath. Yeah. That's the main part of his gimmick. Humberto's gimmick is just that he's a good wrestler.
Yes, he's aggressive. He's got those claw marks tattooed and everything.
Yep, but, yeah, so now we move on to Braun Strowman in the backstage segment.
Yep.
He's getting prepared for his last man standing match, and here comes Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga.
Yep.
And Solo's just like, why are you even speaking? You're not gonna win tonight. Jacob's gonna beat you. And here comes LA Knight.
Yeah.
And LA Knight's he starts mimicking how Tama Tonga speaks. He goes, you're going to be in there.
Yep, and he's like, well, I drop you for the 1, 2, 3.
He said, I'm going to drop you on your head. 1, 2, 3. You're not going to be talking. And he said, I'm going to go make my entrance to show you how a star makes his entrance with everybody saying, L.A. Knight. If they just did it perfectly, they could have synced it up so perfect. It was just like a second behind
Yeah.
with the entrance music. But LA Knight makes his entrance noted. He has his new custom title back
Yeah.
with the LA pattern over it. Makes it look like stars. But yeah, we get LA Knight versus Tama Tonga. Tama Tonga wrestles a very, very aggressive style. Takes it very much to LA Knight.
Yep.
LA Knight gives him it right back, and LA Knight wins with a BFT.
Yup. Solo tried to interrupt plentiful of times and even tried to charge LA after the pinfall, but LA was just a little too slippery.
Yep. And this is kind of the last we'll see of these two, of Solo and Tama, but we will see Jacob later on in the main event match.
Yes.
And it was amazing. I kind of have to
eat your own words about
I
last
have to eat
man
my own words
standing
about
matches.
last man standing matches.
Yeah.
But not talk about last man standing matches. We're talking about probably the biggest talking point of this SmackDown. It is the Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton promo where they very much went off script.
Yep. Plentiful of reporting stations have said that they basically scrapped not 95% of the script in this promo.
Yeah, so every time Charlotte tried to speak, she got booed.
Yup.
And like to the point where she couldn't speak. At some point, it just looked like she gave up. She went to the corner and just like, it's like, what do you want me to do?
And Tiffy, being the well-known promo worker she took advantage of it and just ate from the crowd.
Well, Tiffy, the thing is, that's been her struggle point, and now I think it was like, oh, she doesn't have a chance to speak. I have a chance to say everything. She said by the time that so first she said your first real challenge is the fans. That's your biggest enemy. Like, you've never won them over. She said when you were 25, you were drinking in your dad's basement, trying to be a good volleyball player. And by the time I'm 25, which he currently is, I'm WWE champion walking into WrestleMania. She said that no matter how many titles she wins, she will always come second to her dad, Ric Flair. And then the most personal shot, completely off script. She says, after it all ends, you'll be like you are outside of this, all alone. Let's talk about your divorces. You're 0 for 3. And then drops the mic, leaves the ring.
Yeah.
Charlotte gets a shot in saying, why is Ludwig in my DMs? The main reason why I think she made the remark, and it was right after Tiffy said that she'll always come second to her dad.
Mm-hmm.
And then Charlotte started mimicking her in a high-pitched voice and saying, look, you're saying everything everyone else has said. And you could see Tiffany just get pissed. Like, you could see her facial expression change. She says it. She leaves the ring. There's no reports of there's heat or anything. I can imagine there's going to be. But
Kaiser has responded on Twitter with adding Charlotte and posting a GIF that says "in your dreams."
Yeah, don't flatter yourself.
Yeah, don't flatter yourself.
So I think it's a messy situation.
Yes.
It was a great promo. It was a great segment.
Yes.
People said it was awkward. Yes, it was awkward.
Yes, but now the intrigue level has just kicked up a notch for this match. People, when this match was announced and speculated, were so down on it, but now just every promo after another is bringing that intrigue level up.
Yes, I just think it's a little murky. Always to shoot that hard.
Yes.
I did put out in the group chat, I said Real Wrestling is back because they were shooting. But hey, we'll see what comes from it. Charlotte has had a history of going off script. You know, with the belt swapping with her and Becky, where she threw the belt on the ground. There was the point in the match with Nia Jax, where she just kind of got into a shoot fight for a second. I don't know why. But hey, we'll see what happens from this.
Yeah. But
interest levels for this feud have gone up.
Yes. And speaking of feuds going into Mania, we need a number one contender for the tag champs at Mania.
Let's talk about another set of tag champs that need to be defended at Mania.
Yes.
Because this is when it gets announced next week on Smackdown. There will be a multi-team gauntlet from both Raw and SmackDown.
Yep. 3-3.
And the winners will go on to face Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez at WrestleMania for the Women's Tag Champs.
And you look at the 6 teams they've announced, and
there's one that is a glaring, like, why? And that is Lyra, your Women's IC champion, and Bayley.
Yeah. And also, a lot of people were speculating this would be the Mania feud, but you do not see Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross anywhere on this promotion.
Yep. So we still don't know what's happening with the Wyatt Six. I know Bo is ready to compete.
Yup.
He's cleared. But we just have to see what their plans are going to be creatively. Yep. But now back into the men's side of things. We see the men's tag champs come out before this match starts. And they get a front row seat.
Yep. About to watch who they fighting at Mania. And the 2 people in contention for that Mania slot are both teams are former, but your most recent former tag team champs, DIY versus
Motor City Machine Guns, MCMG. And this was
classic match, cooked.
Classic match. I think out of the 2 matches tonight that kind of dragged, they were LA and this match. They dragged. It was a good match, don't get me wrong, but normal tag match isn't really my style. Yeah. I'm more of a fan of gimmick tag matches.
Yeah.
I like tornado tags. I like extreme rule tags.
Mixed tag.
Mixed tags, all right. I would like to see, I mean, it's not going to happen, but maybe intergender stuff at some point with tags. I do like table tag, TLC tag. But yeah, Motor City Machine Guns pick up the win on DIY.
Yep. With
after a failed meeting in the middle.
Yep. And Ciampa playing a little dirty, taking off the top turnbuckle. And he, classic wrestling cliche of, you set it up, you gotta eat it.
Mm-hmm. Thou who sets it up must take it.
Yup.
And yeah, the Motor City Machine Guns once again win. And I don't know if this is happening at Mania. I think this might happen the Friday night SmackDown before Mania.
Potentially. I know they mentioned Mania for this. Not 100%. But we shall see. The next on the docket, though, does set up a match for Mania.
We get B-Fab versus Naomi. So B-Fab makes her entrance with Michin. Michin then leaves her and goes to the back. And then Naomi makes her entrance. And while making her entrance, Jade Cargill jumps her out of nowhere.
Yup.
And basically delivers her to B-Fab.
Who goes all aggro.
And B-Fab holds her own for the beginning part of the match.
Yep.
For the beginning half of the match, it is very much Naomi has to weather the storm that she just took from Jade Cargill, funnily enough. And B-Fab.
Yep. The first minute is all B-Fab, all gas, no breaks. But then Naomi finally catches her breath, and another minute
hits her new finisher, which is a modified lung blower. We're going to see what she is calling this now, but Naomi picks up the win.
Yep, and then she
afterwards
asks for a mic and asks like, Jade, where you at?
And here she is, jumping your ass once again.
Yep.
So Jade jumps her, and They picked it up on the mic. Naomi says, "I fucking hate your ass." And here comes Nick Aldis, and he says, "Look, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this happening. I'm tired of you. I'm tired of you. We're just gonna do this at Mania."
Yup.
Naomi versus Jade Cargill has been announced for Mania.
Yep.
Also, the first women's match on Mania for a couple years that hasn't involved the title. So yeah, and it goes to Jade and Naomi. I'm
Yep.
glad it does. These two, I think, are going to have a great match.
Yep.
I think anyone can have a great match with Naomi.
Yeah. So we received some good news about the Mania match card, but now sadly, next up is some bad news.
Yeah, and here comes Nick Aldis, and he says, "Look, I hate this part of the business, and this person that has to speak, I have great respect for. He has done a lot for this business, and it's not right that I say it. I'm going to give him the chance to say it to you."
Kevin Owens, everybody.
And here comes Kevin Owens, and he pretty much announces that he needs to go and get neck surgery. So he's been working on a bad neck for 4 months, and
Yep.
they said it wasn't bad until they couldn't get a proper diagnosis of what it was.
Yes. They were running constant tests pretty regularly to see what is going on, what they can try to do to fix it. And finally, it has come to fruition that it's like, no, that this needs surgery, and such an invasive surgery that he mentions might cause a forced retirement.
Yeah, so he doesn't know when he'll be able to do it again, but I just want to say speedy recovery. I hope you do good. But hey, if his last match was against Sami Zayn
Yep, his best
in
friend.
Canada,
Yep.
I can't think of a better way for him to send off his career.
Yep. This does come with the co-announcement that Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton at Mania is canceled due to this surgery.
Also, don't be like this jackass, bald ass fan near the ramp when Kevin Owens was walking out and he said, "Oh, you're just faking it."
Yeah.
Like, don't be that fucking jackass.
No, I was able to read his lips. He said, "You're full of."
Yeah, he said you're full of shit, and then Kevin Owens
Looked like he was about to hop the barricade and punch him.
he confronted him. Camera cut away from it.
Yep.
Because Randy came out, he made his entrance. Randy talked to Kevin on the apron. He said, "Go get yourself fixed.
Yep.
Go get your rest."
Yep. But he enters the middle of the ring, and Nick Aldis starts apologizing, being like, "Look, I'm sorry that you have to miss this Mania. We don't have any other plans for you. We can work on something, but it's not looking good because it's 2 weeks away." And
RKO.
Randy hears them voices and just
RKO's Nick Aldis. Now, you asked me earlier today what I think is Randy's road to Mania.
yes.
And I said there is one of three choices. You have him face Nick Aldis.
Yeah. Which a lot of people on the internet are saying is the possibility.
Let Nick Aldis get his match in WWE, possibly his last, his retirement match at Mania. What a great way to have your retirement match. Or you can have Rusev, who just re-signed, have his comeback match. Or what I think is the best match possible out of this, you have a returning Aleister Black challenge Randy at Mania.
Yes, because the internet is talking. We want Randy, because he mentioned when he returned for Survivor Series that he's good to do this for another 10 years. But he also mentioned that he don't want to miss a Mania.
I think you run back what Seth Rollins did for Cody's return. Have the mystery opponent.
Yep.
Just say, hey, it's just like you're still there. We're making a spot for you, but you can't know your opponent. It's a surprise. Yeah. And you can, I think it'd be great if any one of those three answer the challenge.
Yep.
I see The only way I see Randy eating a loss is if it's Alistair. I think if Rusev comes back, maybe you have Randy win.
Yeah, 50-50 shot.
50-50 shot. If it's Aldis, Randy wins.
Yes, 100%.
And if it's Alistair, I don't know. I think Alistair could win. I don't know how they would handle that booking.
Yeah,
But
and
now for a match that has been confirmed for Mania.
and I will say also is that from sort of like the just general vibes of the three men involved in the promo we just talked about, KO, Randy, and Nick Aldis, it seems like if the surgery goes well and KO is able to return to action, I got the feeling and vibe that they might revisit the feud, whether that ends in the match or if it's just a show of respect, all this forgetting promo stuff. It might get revisited. We don't have a 100%, but
I don't know. I see if Kevin Owens comes back, he has one last run, especially because of this injury.
Yeah.
And you give him a face run.
Yes.
You give him a world title win that's not given to him by Triple H.
Yeah.
In a match.
Yeah.
Like, let him earn it, and that'll be his last title.
When he mentioned that he has been in the wrestling business for 25 years, I'm like, oh, you're on your last legs.
Oh, yeah. Him and Zayn, I'm not certain that they broke in together, but they broke in around the same time, I believe.
Yeah. I'm like, and especially with some of the aggressive matches you have been in, you are def on your last legs.
Look, I'm not going to speak as an expert and say I know all of his matches outside of WWE. The stuff he's done in WWE pales in comparison to the stuff he did outside. Outside WWE stuff, he's done so many more extreme matches than this.
Yes.
There was literally, I think it was called Ladder-geddon. It was him and El Generico, Kevin Steen and El Generico in a Ring of Honor. Go watch it. But moving on to a match that does have WrestleMania ramifications.
Yep. And had some aggressiveness.
Yeah, I'm going to eat my words. This match cooked. It was your main event. Jacob Fatu versus Braun Strowman.
Last man standing.
I'm going to just call it last monster standing at this point.
For the number one contendership for the men's U.S. title.
At WrestleMania.
Yep.
And without further ado, I'm just going to announce your winner. Jacob Fatu is going to WrestleMania.
Less than a year in the company.
And I think he's winning this title off of LA.
Yup. I don't even know if it's been 9 months.
I think he debuted, was it after SummerSlam?
No, it was before SummerSlam.
Was it after Money in the Bank?
Yes.
I can't remember when he exactly debuted.
Jacob Fatu debuted June 21st.
June 21st. So
24.
Almost as long as we've been doing this channel.
Yes. Only okay, a little more than 9 months.
Yeah.
A little more than
a month after we did our debut video, he debuted.
He's already getting not only a match at Mania, but a title shot at Mania.
And he's probably winning that title at Mania.
It's like Jacob Fatu has gotten so over in this company.
The thing is, what happens for Solo?
Jack Daly squat.
Does Solo cost him? Do we see Jacob lose at his first Mania? I like Jacob kind of. I mean, not Jacob. Solo kind of got pushed to the side once Jacob debuted.
Yes, and he has been continued to getting pushed to the side ever since he lost the Ulafala.
Yeah, but hey, if anyone I think is deserving of the push that Solo was going to get, I think it's Jacob. Man, his style. That expression was my expression for most of the match. I was just like,
Yeah. But, like, the match was gonna cook. When Jacob, his opening set, involved him hitting 2 moonsaults.
Oh yeah, the match started before even the bell rung.
Yeah.
Strowman ran out to meet Jacob as he was making his entrance.
Yep.
They brawled through the crowd.
Yep.
It ended.
Superplex onto some crew tables.
And the match ended with Jacob hitting a running hip buster into a table with Strowman in the corner.
Yep.
And the table basically wrapping itself around Strowman.
Yep. And what the commentary called a table and wrestler taco.
Yeah. But Jacob wins the match. He walks out on his own 2 feet. Strowman
Barely.
Still laid out in the ring. And now we get to our main event segment. So earlier on in the show, before we get to this, I think it was before the Motor City
I believe so too.
match, we see Paul Heyman watching the entrance into the arena ramp. And he sees a black SUV pull up. But as it's pulling up, we see CM Punk talk to him. And he's like, is he here yet? And he's like, Paul Heyman's like, no, but just tell me now, because that's him right now. So like, yes, to whatever you want. I'll do it. Yes.
And the door opens.
He goes, my glorious tribal chief!
And Seth Rollins comes out.
Yeah, and Seth's like, why are you surprised to see me?
And some people caught this. Seth Rollins' footwear is a piece of footwear that Bray
Wyatt wore. Yep.
Yep.
So that was a very cool tribute. He also comes out in like it's a weird color because it was green but also white.
Yes. It was a very like I can't
put my eye on it.
No, like
Chartreuse?
Bring out some paint swabs.
Like if you can find the thing like it was a weird color. Just go on YouTube. Okay, well he looks it up.
Yeah. But he's like, mate, I heard CM Punk was gonna confirm his favor. I wouldn't miss this for the world.
Yeah, I wouldn't miss this for the world. And he enters the arena, and Paul Heyman just looks distraught. Dude, just look it up on YouTube.
I know,
But,
no, you can find the outfit he was wearing if you just watch the final video.
Oh.
Yeah. You don't have audio on that thing anyways.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, so we now cut to Paul Heyman at the same entrance ramp, and we see Roman Reigns pull up.
Finally pull up.
And Roman doesn't even acknowledge him. He just walks past him.
Yep, just straight to the ring.
Yeah, you're going to want to cut way farther in the video if you want Rollins out there. There it is.
There he is.
There's the wall.
Yeah.
That's great.
It looks green. It looks green in certain lighting, bro.
Yeah, it did look green in some lighting.
It looks like he's wearing the skin of an elephant.
Like it's a weird color.
Yeah.
But now we get Roman in the ring, and he's talking like, hey, I'm here to do business. I'm tired of this favor.
Yup. And it's like, we're here about loyalty. Like, he helped out my family. I'm here to honor a request. And he's like, so Punk, let's get this over with and come on out.
And here comes, whoa.
Yup.
Seth Rollins comes out, and he says, look, I also want another favor, dude.
Yeah, he's like, it's like, listen, I was pissed off about him main eventing. I've gotten over it a little bit. I just want to screw you.
Yeah. And Seth playing this perfect through man for
Yep.
this rivalry to happen because
Yep.
rumor has said that they have confirmed in writing that it's going to be Roman v Punk at SummerSlam.
But Seth and Roman get to talking, and Roman's like, listen, this is about loyalty, about respect, about honor. You don't know any of that.
And then they also, the Chicago crowd starts chanting, "Where's our saint? Where is our saint? Where is our saint?"
I'm wondering the same thing.
And here comes CM Punk, your city's second saint. Second city saint.
Yep. The voice of the voiceless.
Voice of the voiceless. Leader of the new Nexus.
Yep. And he comes out and just starts getting straight to business of like, listen, Roman, before I came out, you brought up loyalty. You brought up honor. You brought up respect. Paul Heyman, you've been loyal to me ever since. And if you don't mind, I'm going to bring up a past event. You mentioned how when I finally get that spot, you would be right there with me.
Mm-hmm. And he said we were on a bus with Big Show, Rob Van Dam. I believe there was one other person.
It was just after you decided to walk out, and I got a little selfish and was like, what does this mean for me? And Paul was like, you're gonna do just fine. You're gonna get there eventually. And he's like, and if you do, I'll be back.
Yeah, and we finally get the favor. Now, Trevin, what do you feel of the favor being Paul Heyman will be in CM Punk's corner for WrestleMania?
I'm iffy on it, but the more I think about it, the more hyped I am about it, because it's like there were so many rumors going around about like this being the winner gets added to one of the title matches or something, but it's like this is long-term storytelling done real well, because
we have yet to see this version of Roman without Heyman.
Yes. Roman, because the time he came back and Paul Heyman was still out of commission when he was trying to fight Solo, he was 90% silent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is interesting, but he still got the hype. There are some rumor mills going around about how while Paul does the favor, he could turn on both men and help Seth out, which would be really funny storytelling.
Seth Rollins as a Paul Heyman guy? Oh my god, he's just collecting superstars like they're Pokemon cards.
Yeah, but it's just, you saw it in the face of this, in Roman's face in this promo. He just gave a whole speech about loyalty, and that is the face of a man who just got betrayed.
Yeah, because as Paul Heyman said, he can't say no.
Yep.
He told him whatever he wants, yes.
Yep, and and then we eventually get Punk attacking Roman to just confirm the spot, and Punk and Rollins just stare at each other with Seth dying of laughter as Paul Heyman is on the apron in between them, bawling his eyes out about being put in this position.
Yeah, watch how Roman sells this GTS deck when he attacks him. Like, he sold it like he got murdered.
Yes.
But yeah, this is the segment that ends out SmackDown.
Yep.
Seth and Punk don't come to blows. They're just talking.
Seth is just enjoying himself. He's just like, listen, I was upset about it main eventing, but it's like, it's another Mania event in my resume, so it's like, I could care less.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just like, but the fact that this story is involved with my WrestleMania main event, daggum, time of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's how I'd be sleeping at night. Like, the way that Roman sells this is how I sleep.
Go the F to sleep.
That's how I be sleeping, fam. But are you gonna recreate it?
No. I don't think
yeah.
the camera would get it.
This is the end of the episode.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see where it goes on Monday. But yeah, all signs are, or all roads are leading to Mania, and the roads are picking up speed.
Yep. And getting bumpy.
Yes, they're getting bumpy. But this has been it from us here at Disqualified. This has been Caleb, your main roster predictions champion. This is Trevin.
Oh.
Behind that camera, as always, is Zach. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell 3 times so you know the match is over. And we will
One more thing.
Oh, yeah. Trevin has an announcement to make.
Yeah, it's a little ending announcement. We have teased it with this poster in our background, but we can probably link it in the description, right?
Yes.
Yes. We have finally released that tabletop RPG / Dungeons and Dragons podcast we've been talking about on Throes of Chaos, the name of the podcast. Episode 1 was released at time of release 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am so happy this is out.
Yes.
We can finally talk about it. It is finally a reality. We have so many episodes on backlog. You're going to be getting episodes. Don't worry.
Yes.
But yeah, this is great. We've been doing this for over a year.
Going on about, we haven't hit 2 years yet. No, we
I mean, with you as our DM, we've been doing this for over
2 years. Yeah,
2 years.
Yeah, almost 3.
Yeah,
because you made me your dungeon master almost immediately after I got back from my mission.
Yep. But yeah, this is exciting.
Yeah.
This is finally a reality.
Yeah. So go check that channel out if you're anything like us and interested in both this and tabletop RPGs, which I have a feeling some of you are.
And we're recording a new episode tomorrow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
At time of recording.
Yeah, time of recording. Or actually, no, time of recording. Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah.
But when this goes up, today.
Yeah.
Ooh. But yeah, anything else you want to say, Trevor?
No.
Zach? All right, yeah, we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time, and peace.
Bye.